Let's talk about hypnosis. The lightest state of hypnosis, alpha, is achieved very easily. Everyone enters a hypnotic state every day, several times per day. It's that state that you're in when you're watching TV, reading a good book, or playing video games. And yes, even when you're driving, you are actually in trance. You are in hypnosis at those times. It's also the state that you're in when you're just waking up in the morning or when you're going to bed at night. You're not fully conscious at those times, but you're not quite unconscious either. You're somewhere in between, floating in between sleep and wakefulness. And in this state, you are up to 200 times more suggestible than when you are fully awake in beta. Now, many people, when they hear about hypnosis, they will say, well, I can't be hypnotized. These people have been misinformed, mostly by Hollywood, about what hypnosis is and what it is not. It is not necessary to be in some sort of otherworldly trance-like state to be in hypnosis, because hypnosis is what's natural to you. It's as normal and natural as breathing. This natural state that everyone moves in and out of throughout their day, each and every day, is hypnosis. Many of our everyday normal activities are actually performed while we are in trance, while we are under hypnosis, without us even being consciously aware of it. Hypnosis is just like that state that you're in when you've been driving a car for a long distance. You know that feeling. It's not that you're oblivious to everything. You're just kind of zoned out slightly. It's just that you've tuned out all of the external, unimportant stimuli for those moments when you're driving. Your focus at that time is on the road. And if something were to happen that required your attention, such as, a car trying to pass you, or someone trying to cross the street, or a stoplight change, your body and your mind would be able to properly respond to those moments. You would be able to, at any time that you chose, to notice the beautiful trees along the road, or the farmhouse out in the distance, or anything else that you may be driving past. As I mentioned earlier, another example of hypnosis is while playing video games. Some people can play video games for hours on end in one sitting. And if someone were to walk in and talk to them, they would notice that they were there, and they'd be able to respond to them during their video session, but they would be somewhere else, kind of in their own mind, focused on the game. And it might even feel to the player that they've only been playing for a fraction of the time, maybe a matter of minutes, but in actuality, they may have actually been playing for hours on end. And this is because while in that hypnotic state, they've experienced time distortion. Same thing is true in the morning when you hit the snooze alarm and it's been 15 minutes and another 15 minutes, and then you think that you've only slept for such a short period of time, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh my goodness, I've actually been sleeping for an hour and a half. I'm late, I need to get up. You're putting yourself into that hypnotic state deeper and deeper every time you hit that snooze, and that time distortion is shortening the distance of time for you. And this is a perfectly normal thing that happens to some people, and you may be experiencing that when you're actually in your hypnosis session. A third really good example of the hypnotic state is when you're working on your computer, and that can be your laptop, your tablet, or even your phone, because after all, that's simply a mini computer, isn't it? People who are using a computer are focused on what they're doing, but they can intellectually answer questions, notice the phone when it rings, they notice people when they walk in, but yet they're focused in on what they're doing on that computer screen. So really, hypnosis is no different from driving a car or playing a video game or working on that computer. Most people engaged in these activities would not necessarily consider themselves in trance or hypnosis, but they really are. They are in a light hypnotic trance known as alpha. And by the way, since you're listening to me here talk about hypnosis, guess what? Surprise, you're actually in hypnosis right now because you're focused in on what I'm saying, what I'm telling you, you're taking into your subconscious mind. And you might be focused in, zoning in on what I'm saying or the computer screen. You might even be focused in on something else around you, but you're perfectly aware of everything else. Kind of like when you daydream. You're zoning out somewhere within your own mind, yet you're aware of everything that's going on around you. Anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about. So in alpha, your mind is slowed down just a little bit. Your focus becomes narrower. Think of it like a spotlight becoming focused and narrowed in down to a laser beam, and you're focused on whatever it is that needs your attention at that time. So during hypnosis, your attention will unfocus from the external stimuli around you, and it will narrow in and focus on the sound of my voice, for example, or your breathing, or the words or suggestions that I'm giving you. Your breathing will become slower during that time, and you will become very, very relaxed. When our bodies relax, our minds relax, and then open to possibilities and change. Now, most people have driven a car, right? Most people have played video games, they've worked on computers, they've maybe read really good articles. And if you've done any of that, well, then you really can't say that you can't be hypnotized, because you have been. You've been hypnotized in those moments. And if you say that you can't be hypnotized, then you're misunderstanding the true nature of that hypnotic state. And since you're up to 200 times more suggestible, even while you're in that very, very base light state of alpha trance, anything beyond this is really unnecessary for most people's purposes. So even when you're in the light state, you are still in that hypnotic state. And if you go deeper into, theta and delta state, you're just bringing yourself more opportunity for more positive change to happen on a deeper level and a faster level. And you can have extremely effective hypnosis sessions while you are being aware of everything that's going on. You might be able to recall every word that is spoken by your hypnotherapist, by me. You might be hearing every other word, but subconsciously your unconscious mind is taking in anything and everything that it needs to take in during those times. And also, don't worry. You don't have to worry at all if you fall asleep during hypnosis. Now, hypnosis, the hypnotic state, is not sleep. It often appears to look like sleep, but it is not sleep. And it's actually been discovered by several research groups that your hearing acts like a surveillance camera. Your eyes close, but your ears, well, they cannot close. They can't close, can they? They always remain open, taking in information consistently and constantly. So think about it this way. When a mother is asleep and hears her baby cry, what will she do? She'll wake up, won't she? She'll immediately wake up and attend to her child. The truth is that we never really fall asleep. A part of our brain is always alert. It's always active. That part is our hearing. It stays alert to protect us or even our offspring. So if someone were to break into your home while you were asleep, you'll be alerted as soon as you hear that noise. Your hearing is on 24/7, taking in information and recording it. So in hypnosis, we really do use this to your advantage. So even though you will not be asleep, you will be in between sleep and wakefulness. Even if you were to happen to fall asleep during the session, your brain is still recording all of the information into your subconscious mind. It's pretty cool, isn't it? In case you're worried about being too intelligent to be hypnotized, intelligence is directly correlated to suggestibility. So in other words, the more intelligent you are, the more easily you can be hypnotized. People of a below average IQ find it really difficult to go into trance state. Geniuses actually are naturally close to that hypnotic state most of the time, and therefore they can enter hypnosis very easily. And this really does account for their ability to transfer information from their subconscious mind to their conscious mind and waking life so that they can bring their creations and ideas to fruition, to reality, so that we can have them in the world. And there's really no need for you to worry about not waking up, because you can't get stuck in hypnosis. You can't get stuck. You can't die while in hypnosis. This can't happen. Less than 10% of the population achieves such a deep, deep, deep trance state that they completely disassociate or black out. Like they do when people receive anesthetic, they're completely blacked out and disassociated when under anesthetics. That's very, very rare that people go into that deep state. Such people are called somnambulists, and those types of people who are somnambulists account for only about 10% of the population, and they don't consciously remember what's happening during hypnosis unless the hypnotherapist suggests that they will. However, with that being said, even those somnambulist type of people, they will wake up at the end of the session, and their subconscious mind will have all of the information inside of it as well. Most people, they achieve only a light trance, alpha, delta, or theta. This light trance in which they're completely aware, completely in control of what's happening. Although they are completely relaxed and focused at those times, their mind is actively engaged in what's going on, and their body is naturally relaxed and naturally focused. So I hope this answers some questions that you might be having about what hypnosis is, what it is not. If you have any other questions for me, you can always visit my website at mdlhealingartistry.com.